Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm restocking on my homemade non-toxic laundry soap, and this is a super easy recipe that I figured deserved its own video here on my YouTube channel. It has become one of the most popular posts on my blog, and a lot of people have come to love this recipe. Now, this is super easy to come together. Only 4 or 5 ingredients are needed, and they are likely things that you already have in your home, or they are really easily accessible. I have made many laundry detergents over the years, and this is the recipe that I always come back to. It doesn't require grating any bar soap or anything like that, so it comes together really quickly with minimal effort, and it is still super effective. This recipe is also borax free if that's something that you're looking for. There's a couple of reasons for that. I personally choose to leave it out just because it can be a bit of a skin irritant, but I will say that there is some research that suggests it could be potentially harmful to reproductive health. So I just think play it safe, we leave it out, and I find this to be very effective still. The only ingredients that you're going to need for this homemade laundry soap are some Castile soap. I like to use liquid Castile soap, but if you want to save a little bit of money and you don't mind the extra effort, you can use grated bar Castile soap. Then I'm also going to be needing some baking soda, washing soda, and some coarse salt. Now, I do like to scent it a little bit, so I will use some essential oils. However, that is totally optional and you can leave them out if you want. Now, the Castile soap is super concentrated, so not much is needed in the entire batch. I'm also going to use the baking soda, which is going to help soften. Washing soda is a natural solvent, which means that it helps to dissolve other substances, so it's going to be a great thing to add in to help remove stains. Washing soda is pretty easy to find, but if you can't find it for some reason, it is super easy to make at home with baking soda. So baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, and then washing soda is sodium carbonate. And you can make it at home by just heating baking soda in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour. Heating the baking soda is going to drive off the water and the carbon dioxide. And the salt is going to help to soften, and the chloride is going to help to keep your laundry looking bright. Alright, I have 8 cups of water coming to a boil in a pot, and while that's going, I'm going to get all of my ingredients measured out into a gallon-sized jar. So this is going to make a gallon of laundry detergent. If you want to make a larger batch, just multiply accordingly. Now, it is important that you do bring some water to a boil for this. You can just use hot tap water. However, I find that the ingredients dissolve a lot better with using boiling water, and then you don't see as much separation in the detergent. Sometimes this detergent will separate a little bit, and I'll share with you a little bit later on in the video how you can mitigate that. However, if it cools and you see some separation in it, it's not a big deal. It works just as fine. Give it a bit of a shake before you go ahead to use the detergent. To a gallon-sized jar, I am adding a half cup of washing soda. You can also do this directly into some sort of jar that has a spout to dispense from, but I typically will mix it all together in a gallon-sized jar like this one, and then I'll transfer it into a smaller jar for day-to-day use with a Mason Tops lid that has a pour spout to dispense it from. As always, I'll have the full recipe in the description box down below. Now, I'm also adding in a half cup of baking soda, and then I'm adding in a 1/4 cup of coarse salt. For Castile soap, I like to use Dr. Bronner's Baby. It is what I typically keep on hand, and it is unscented, and I'm adding in a half cup of that. It's totally optional to add essential oils. Sometimes I just leave them out. Today I am adding some lavender essential oil, and I like to do about 30 drops of that to lightly scent it, and then I'm topping this off with the hot water. Now, I'm just mixing this together really well to make sure I get the baking soda, washing soda, and salt completely dissolved before I go ahead and add in any more water to this. And I will also mention that since I'm using a glass gallon jar, I just added some hot tap water to it before adding the boiling water, dumped it out just to make sure that it wasn't too cold and the glass didn't shock and break. So I added in about another 7 cups of water, and I'm just giving this a really good stir to make sure everything is fully dissolved and combined. And then I'm going to set this aside. Now you can go ahead and use this right away. I like to just allow it to cool, thicken up a little bit, and over the next 24 hours, a few times I'll just give it a bit of a stir, and that's going to help to prevent any separation between the baking soda, washing soda, and the water. However, if you do see separation, it's not a big deal. Just give the container a good shake before you go ahead and measure it out. It will work just as well. That is my simple recipe. As you saw, it took just a couple minutes to come together. Super easy, and it's also very affordable to make. So the last time that I calculated out the cost, I think it worked out to be about 8 cents per load. I'm sure it's a little bit more now just because things have gotten a little bit more expensive over the past couple years, but still a very affordable, non-toxic option. Now, if you want to cut down on costs even more, you can use bar Castile soap, and I'll have all of the measurement information for that in the blog post in the description box down below. You just would want to grate it, add it to that hot water, and make sure that it fully melts in before you add that into your dry ingredients. Now, I will typically use about a 1/4 cup of the detergent per load. If I'm doing a really large load, I'll bump that up to about 1/3 of a cup. Something that I get asked quite a bit is if you can use this in a high efficiency machine. And I will say that I have used this in a high efficiency machine for many, many years without any issue. If you give this a try, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.